So Heather, thank you so much for asking me to do all the drawings for this book. I mean, it's been a really funny experience for me. But I've always wanted to ask you, I never asked you that question, but where does that idea of a dog wanting to be a butterfly, where does that idea comes from? Can you tell me that?
I love this question. And also thank you for all of your beautiful artwork. I It came from one night I just felt like writing.
Hmm.
This is a true story. And I had just learned a technique, a constraint, if you will, where you pick three items and they have to be something like a noun and you put them in a story. And so I
Hmm.
looked around my room, it was just for fun, and I saw a picture of Franklin and I, the dog,
Hmm.
and it was like, okay, dog. And then I had this little magnet that someone gave me of a butterfly, like butterfly. And then I had just picked up this pink pineapple,
Ah, okay.
which is a candle on the street. Because in Brooklyn, people put stuff on the street when they don't want it. I was like, oh, I
Oh,
just
in
got that
Paris they
home.
do that too, you know?
Yeah. So like pineapple. And then I just started to write. So the butterfly, dog, and pineapple had to be in the story. And it was very quick. I think I was writing for maybe 10 minutes when all of a sudden I was like, oh my goodness, of course Franklin wants to be a butterfly. And what happens? Can he be? I don't know. And so that was the inspiration for the story. And the more I sat with it and the more I sat with the story that came through about the dog who wanted to be a butterfly, it
Hmm.
felt as though the actual dog Franklin, who I walk, had been telling me this story all along. So who knows if I just randomly picked those elements or if I already knew the story had to come into the world in some way.
Mm,
Yeah,
that's great. Very interesting.
good question. And I think I also want to ask you, I mean, I remember feeling into the story and being like, oh my goodness, I really want to ask Jerome if he will illustrate this. And I remember asking you, and I remember you wanting to read the story first.
Sure.
And I remember also you saying, like, I've never drawn a dog before.
Never.
And part of me was like, you'll be fine. But I guess, like, what was the process like for you? Because you've never illustrated a kid's book. You've never had drawn a dog before.
No, that was
What did it feel like? How did it all happen?
that was my first time. Well, I just watched a lot of pictures, photographs from Franklin, just to understand his character because I could imagine his funny character, his funny perception of things, you know. So I I think I saw that as portrait exercise.
Mm,
It was like drawing a portrait. It's just like it's not a human being, it's an animal, but it's the same. You know, he has a spirit inside, something inside. So I wanted to seize that, you know. And funnily enough, I just had one try because usually that's my thing, you know. I think a lot, you know,
hmm
think a lot. I watch a lot of things, and then when I decide to draw or do something, or even when I write, um, I don't like I don't like you know drafts or to try things a lot of time and rewrite and redraw, and so it's as if I wanted to have it right away. So I did only one try. My first drawing of Franklin was horrible. Let's try. Maybe I have it something here. Let me check. Yeah, get it. Got it somewhere.
I love this. I also love that you have a Franklin folder.
A what?
I love that you have a Franklin folder.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's great.
all the drawings for the books, for the book. Um, these are the drawings, all of them. Maybe cover.
I love seeing those.
And I did all that only once. I mean, no draft, nothing. I try to be precise, the very first time. That's the way I do things. I want to find the very first drawing I did. I'm not sure I still have it. Mm, here. It's probably here. Oh yeah. Are you ready? Well, actually, I did two trials. I think they're not very good. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Okay. I mean, I think those are great.
No,
They're different from where
this
you ended
this
up.
one is awful. This one is not Franklin. This one is getting better, but it's still not
It's
him.
closer, yeah. I actually remember when you sent me that first one
Uh-huh.
because I had complete confidence in you from the beginning, even though you were like, let me see if I can draw a dog first. And I was like, okay. And you sent me that. I was like, I think you can draw a dog. Like I looked at my phone. I was like, yeah. I showed someone I was with, like, I think that looks like a dog, right? But it's cool to see that for someone who doesn't iterate or doesn't like try different things, you did a little bit,
Sure, sure.
right? And then you ended up
Uh,
with this guy. This guy. I love it. And it's fun to me. I think it's fun because like hearing your story and getting to share mine about writing it. Like I didn't plan for this to be a book. It was a writing exercise,
okay.
kind of like just for fun.
So you mean that at the beginning you had no idea that you wanted it to be a children book, and it was just
No,
random, not random, but just
yeah,
you were just motivated by writing something, right?
exactly. I had a feeling like, oh, I feel like writing right now. Oh,
Great.
book, dog, pineapple, butterfly, go. But the story that appeared in front of me as I was writing it was like, oh, this is actually, I like this. And I sent it to Franklin's people
Mm-hmm.
and just sort of to be like, oh, here's a cute story. And then they liked it. And I was like, huh. And I kept sending it to a few more people and they're like, oh, this is cute. I like it. I was like, huh. And so I kept working with it. I did keep making it a bit longer and stronger and polishing it and getting editors to work on it.
Mm-hmm.
And got it to a pretty strong place before
Mm-hmm.
then coming to you to be like, what do you think? And I kind of love that neither of us have ever done something like this before.
True, it's a first experience for both of us.
Yeah.
I really loved the story the first time I read it. I really loved it because it's full of hope. It's a story of how to find yourself,
Hmm.
kind of. And you told me something very interesting once. I remember that very well. Um, you told me that you didn't want that idea of sacrifice. Of course, I don't want to reveal the ending, but
Yeah, no, it's okay. I like this.
yeah, I can't tell more because of the ending. I don't want to spoil.
Well, I think
But
there's an
there's no
interesting, like,
sacrifice. There's no need to sacrifice anything to be happy.
yeah, yeah. And um, dreams can come true in ways you may not even imagine.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. I think to me, it's like I really love fairy tales.
Hmm.
And we've been caught in so many beliefs because of the fairy tales that so many of us have read over and over and over and over. So whether people know it or not, these stories are influential in lives.
They are.
And it feels to me that it's time to introduce new stories. Because so often a typical fairy tale will be like, you have to give something up in order to get
Mm-hmm.
something, or
Mm-hmm.
there's an exchange of some kind. And I was like, well, what if
Mm-hmm.
it can be instead of either or something that's more like and.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'll leave it because that's still mysterious. And people can read and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but thank you so much. And thank you so much for everything you put into this and all of the energy and all of the drawing. And it makes my heart so happy to hold it.
Well, thank you for the project because it was a really cool experience for me
I'm glad.
and a really good drawing exercise. I learned a lot of things drawing that, illustrating that book, and that's what I really love. I mean, it's learning new things. Uh,
Hmm.
a new project for me means learning a new thing. So thank you for that.
Yeah, we share that.
Mhm.
Um, and I love you've also created a bunch of videos to show people what you
Yeah,
learned on your Instagram channel.
yeah. I
Uh,
hope you don't mind.
no, I think that's great. I hope we can reshare them actually somehow so that people will get to see that as
Uh,
well.
yeah, maybe we can find a way. Yeah?
Yeah.
Like, why not editing, short bits together, creating a new video like that? Maybe
Yeah, because I think it's really interesting and people love knowing
the
the
process.
process and what happened. And for me
Mhm.
too, it was new. I learned a lot. I didn't know how to use InDesign before having to do this and lay out the
Right.
text. And the thing I also really value is that it feels like we both trust each other. And so you're like, I remember you saying at the beginning, like, do you trust me to whatever images? I'm like, yep, thank you. And then you came back and you're like, here they are. I'm like, perfect. So to me, that's also important. And I'm glad we both learned a lot and we have a new collaboration.
Yeah. So when's the next book now?
Hmm. Well, after the French edition of this one,
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Sure.
then
Next
then
step:
I don't know.
translation in French and other languages, perhaps.
Perhaps I'm open to that. I love that.
Okay.
And then we'll see what other ingredients want to be thrown into a story. Awesome.